Hey yo, what up? It's Girl Bewitched Faun, coming in with episode 15 of Faun's Horror Corner, a series where I watch a random horror movie on Tubi and we talk about it. This week I watched Cabin Fever 2 Spring Fever from 2010. This one is directed by Ty West. The description Tubi gave us was, a high school prom faces a deadly threat, a flesh-eating virus that spreads via a popular brand of bottled water. It's been a minute since I've watched this due to the holidays delaying this video, so whatever my first impressions were, I couldn't tell ya. Back to the director though, he's fucking legendary at this point, so other movies of his that I've seen and I can recommend are X, Pearl, Maxine, Scream the TV series, which I really enjoyed, The Sacrament, and The Innkeepers. Two final things to say before we start the movie is, number one, this is going to be gory, so watch at your own discretion. I'm probably going to have to censor it like I did with the previous video. And number two, normally most movies on Tubi come with subtitles, but for some reason this one didn't. And I normally use subtitles to help me with where I'm clipping the movie and editing, but I don't have them. So I'm either going to roll with the punch or make my own subtitles and editing with the used clips. We'll see, I guess. With that all out of the way, let's get into the movie. We begin with this fucked up man running through the woods, and that's it for a few minutes. But now he's on the road with a school bus approaching. He stands in the middle of the road and that bus ain't stopping, and he becomes a human slushie as we see the title card. Don't worry though, Deputy Winston is on the case. The driver is understandably fucked up about it, but Winston says, "Relax, man, you just hit a moose, that's all." And now he's being himself and talking about partying and pussy. Ultimately, it's kinda wholesome. He just wanted to give the driver a laugh in the end. The bus leaves. Winston is about to as well, but he notices a human foot dangling around and is visibly taken aback. But he's being summoned on the walkie. He's got a job to do and off he goes. Now we're at school. This guy is a simp and these two have some banter. To sum it up, John has a crush on a girl, Cassie. She has a boyfriend and that boyfriend wants to beat John's teeth in. And banter continues. But the bell rings and it's time for class. We meet the shithead we learned about earlier and he's being cunty as expected. Now John is with the principal. Somehow he's the one in trouble. He gets a write-up or something, I don't know. I was homeschooled, and he leaves. Back to biology class. The friend duo both got in trouble and are just chatting. This girl is probably infected and is slopping down on it. Alex gets kicked out of the classroom for talking more, and I kind of vibe with this janitor. Back to Alex. He stops to see a girl crying in an empty class, and he asks if she's okay. She is not okay, and now he's letting her talk. She got dumped, and this is prime real estate for Alex. He says the right things, and now they're making out in the bathroom. She gives him a brace face sloppy toppy, and now he's in love. But she ain't feeling it. She just wanted revenge on her ex. John gets visited by the Geek Squad. They want to hang out with him and watch fucked up movies. But it's also prom night, and he's not sure what he's doing. Cassie wants to take a walk with John, and now they're chatting. Neither of them are going to prom, and they're talking college. Before entering her house, John runs and asks her to go to prom with him. But she says no, because there's a lot going on. Bride of the Cannibals it is then. Back to Winston. He's got a stack of pancakes. This guy is choking and ruins Winston's pancake vibes. He goes down, and this lady is saying prayers or some shit. Winston tells her to call 911 and this guy just rips some skin off and is having an all-around bad time. And Winston fucking dips and knows that this shit is bad. He gets war flashbacks to the cabin. A water truck drives by and Winston speeds off. Now it's prom. I actually went to prom. I don't think there's any pictures of it that exist though. I scoured through my mom's Facebook to find pictures and there's none of me, so I don't know what that was about. My dress in hindsight looked like a wedding dress, which is kind of cringe, and I wore heels that I couldn't even walk in. Alex calls John and says, "Hey bro, we're going to prom now because I have a date." Alex has a loose fingernail and it's fucking grody to watch, but glue and band-aids fix everything. Back to Winston. He tells this guy he has to see the delivery schedule and to open the fucking gate. Punch is being made, but that water is pretty icky. So we retry with down-home water instead. Looking good. Our girl is being visited by Rick, who has a girl, but he sure is getting his flirt on. Okay, I am so sorry for pointing this out, but this janitor looks like Robert Downey Jr. in blackface. Rick and Frederica visit the pool, and it's skinny dipping time. The janitor is big time beefing and pisses in the punch. That piss turned to blood and he is walking away from the crime. Frederica and Rick are boinking, but she's bleeding, and he rolls with it. An hour tooth fell out and Rick is getting the big time ick as she bled in his mouth. Frederica hasn't came up and the pool is filled with gunk. He fishes for her, she pulls him in, he cracks his head and now he is submerged merged. John meets with Alex outside, they chat and they're heading in. Over to Winston. He's reading through the files. He finds something good and asks for the date, but this guy is kinda useless. He cracks open a beer and like a moth to a flame, Winston is intrigued. He uses the phone and calls Herman, says he's in deep shit and needs help. A bunch of vehicles are driving in though, and Winston doesn't know them. He tells this guy to let the people know that the water coming out of there is bad news and it can't be delivered. The door gets busted open and poor Toby gets shot up, but Winston made his escape. Back to prom. Okay, Disco Prom actually looks so fun if you take away the flesh-eating virus drama. Alex says the punch tastes like piss, but John gets some anyway. But now Cassie has appeared, and she came with this douchebag. And he's being a douchebag. Now the two are fighting, and the principal breaks it up. John has gotten kicked out of prom, and Cassie runs after him. The two bicker, and John is big mad and big simping. He goes on a whole rant, and he says he loves her, but vehicles pull up on the two, and they say to go inside. When they don't, guns are pulled out. So they run inside and enter the pool room as these hazmat guys enter as well and chain the door shut. But Cassie is the one who notices Rick floating in the pool. School is surrounded and every door is getting chained shut. John asks Cassie to grab Alex. He'll tell the principal about the guys outside. Cassie grabs Alex and notices her man grabbing another girl's ass. Alex and Cassie are in the hall waiting for John. John is updating the principal and he goes to investigate the men outside. After a few questions, he gets promptly shot and now they're screaming from another room. A girl is coughing up blood on the dance floor, and now it's like a chain reaction, and smoke grenades are being thrown in the gym. But there is no escape. They're locked in, and the grenades keep coming and the blood keeps shooting. The janitor stumbles out asking for help, but he falls and he is down for the count. These three can only watch as the other students are trapped inside the smoke-filled gym. They try to make a plan to escape, but with the doors all locked, it's hard to do. No time to waste though. A smoke grenade has been tossed in the hallway. They're looking at themselves to see if there's infection. Cassie hears a girl crying. Alex has a bad feeling and scopes out his peener, and it's leaking out pus, and that is just vile. Cassie investigates the girl crying. She's very bloody and apparently had a baby, which was put into the trash. Strangely reminiscent of that one girl who put her baby in a hospital trash can. I kept up on that case a lot when it was going on. Suddenly she's in Cassie's face, and she begs her not to move. Armed with a lacrosse stick, she goes down, and John pulls Cassie out of there. Back to Winston. He's pacing outside a liquor store waiting for his ride. He hops in his cousin's van and says hop the fuck down and get out of sight. We're in some deep shit and we need to get out of here. Winston says he's got his ass covered to just disappear, and the two are heading out. Alex is having a very bad time, and so is this bunny mascot, which Alex decides to investigate, but the men have infiltrated the school now. Cassie and John are running together, and there's a lot of gunshots nearby. They hide in a room that has an infected teacher on the floor. They then hide in a room further back and leave the teacher with the hazmat team. The two leave and are yelling for Alex. John won't leave him behind, however, so the two are on the hunt. Alex is in the library, not doing good at all. He was trying to read about the disease. Cassie's D-bag man found them and wants inside. Alex tells John that it's a skin disease. Don't touch him and get the fuck out of here. John notices he's infected. The D-bag starts fighting some guy, pulverizing some guy, and after all this time, Alex dies. And the two run. Back to Winston. The duo have reached a checkpoint and the road is closed and they can't go further. His cousin offers some cash money and then knocks this guy the fuck out. Now they're cleared to keep moving. The other duo is still running and they're in the wood shop. John wants to saw his infected arm off with Cassie's help. Very romantic. Now she's cauterizing a stump. Extra romantic. And you can't forget the duct tape. It fixes everything. Now they're icky kissing and Cassie gets clocked by this douchebag. He's on Alex and Cassie gets up and shoots him with a nail gun. Get fucked, dude. The two are running again and have found an exit, but they're surrounded by cars and helicopters. Still somehow make it to the woods, but John collapses and tells Cassie to keep going and get out of here. A hazmat guy comes up and grabs Cassie, but John attacks and tells her to run. So she does, and John is surrounded and pinned. Cassie is running through the woods alone now and finds a road. A car is down the road and she runs towards it. It's Winston and his cousin. Cassie asks to be taken to the hospital. He lets her inside and introduces himself and his cousin. Winston tells him to hit it, and they get driving, the hazmat crew falling behind. Don't forget the brace-faced sloppy toppy girl. We're at work with her, and she's a stripper. So I'm going to quickly tell you about this because it goes on for a while. She is underage and stripping, and she's very infected, and it's a gory scene of her infection kicking in and infecting everyone inside the strip club, and that's it. That's the movie. Let's get into my afterthoughts. Okay, I'm gonna be so for real. I don't know what I thought about this. I didn't love it. I don't think I hated it fully either, but I didn't totally enjoy it. I felt like it relied on shock value a lot. Like they were trying to capture some of the humor from the first movie, but tried too hard. The shocking and funny scenes in the first movie were well done, and it really did work, and it kept the dreadful vibe while also having those little funny moments thrown in, whereas this felt like it was trying too hard to keep that humor and shock value and relied on that a lot more than the actual story. But let's get into my talking points. What did I think of the story? It was okay. I mean, I like that we saw more Deputy Winston. He grew on me a lot more in this movie. Like he was funny in the first one, but he was just a fuckboy cop. And this one gave him more character while still keeping those Winston quirks, which I love. Beyond that, the virus part of the story itself with the student drama was kind of meh, but I was very invested in Winston and his storyline. What about the ending? I like that Winston and his cousin got away. It also kind of felt like open-ended though. Like, is Cassie infected or not? That icky kiss got me thinking, yeah, probably. But then that makes me wonder if Winston and his cousin are okay or not. But I feel like it's an ending that makes you think and ask questions like that, which is a good way to do an open ending. As for the stripper scene, it was 100% unnecessary and not needed. Like, it was there purely for the extra gore and shock value, which we didn't really need more of in this movie. So I would like to pretend that that scene just didn't even exist. The truly perfect ending to this movie is Winston, his cousin, and Cassie driving off, not knowing whether she's infected or not. Overall thoughts? It's hit or miss. The Winston shit was the best part of the movie. I didn't really enjoy any other character. Like I've already said, this film relied so heavily on gore and shock value rather than the growing sense of dread mixed with well done gore, shocking scenes, and the little silly bits that the first film had. I hate to say it, but it was kind of a flop to me. Like, I really did not need to see pus coming out of a student's peener, or the girl in the bathroom with the baby, or the stripper scene. There's just a lot of things that felt very pointless, and were literally only there to make you go, oh, that's gross. And it didn't make it very enjoyable. Like, I would watch the first Cabin Fever again in a heartbeat, but I don't really think I want to watch this again, honestly. Favorite kill? For creativity points, I think I'm gonna go with the gym scene. That's anxiety inducing. It's kind of an anxiety inducing scene, seeing everyone pile up at the door. That's how you do the growing dread. I mean, that's how you fucking do it. I think that was the coolest kill by far. Best and worst character? Best is Deputy Winston. You stole the show and you made the movie worth watching. Worst character might be a hot take, because honestly, Alex was really, really annoying. And maybe it's because I had to see his peener leaking. That shit might have sealed the deal, but I don't know. I wasn't a fan. As for the tier list, I have settled on putting it down in D tier with Beast of Bray Road. I just didn't enjoy it, and I'm sorry if you do. It's just not for me. I thought about putting it in C with The Forsaken and making the excuse it's only up here because Deputy Winston stole the show, but I shouldn't need an excuse to put it higher up. It's my tier list, goddammit, and if I don't like a movie, I shouldn't have to try to be too nice and put it up high. So D tier it is. I just didn't like it, man. And lastly, for Character Hall of Fame, I think Winston has officially made it. I was up in the air in the first movie because he was funny and quirky, but he was a lot more of like a fuckboy than anything. So I wasn't fully sold, but this movie fully sold me on Winston, and he has earned a spot in the Character Hall of Fame. So congrats on your promotion, Winston. Well, that's all I got. Thank you for watching if you're still here. I upload these every Saturday around 12 p.m. as long as life doesn't get in the way. So if you enjoy, then feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. Do what you want. I can't tell you what to do. My socials are down below, as well as the link to the movie so you can watch it yourself and form your own thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you think if you decide to watch it. Next week, we will cover the next movie in the series, Cabin Fever Patient Zero. Thank you one more time for watching. Stay safe and spooky, y'all.